Continuing forward, though, as you mentioned, Wonder suffering a bit more in the trades as early items start to come through. Tahm Kench notoriously very oppressive early, but you know that the true damage and from the Gwen will eventually outscale when some items start to come through. See what Wonder can do for now is going to try to get out of that one. Armut on the chase. Out comes the needlework, but not nearly enough to finish the job. More pressure on the top side, though. Maybe something for the Mad Lions to play around. Twisted Fate already moving up, but he has been spotted by a ward, which will diminish a little bit of the effectiveness of the play. G2 literally seeing Mad Lions every time they try to make a play this game.
Yeah, G2's vision this game has been great. Playing it from the draft. Mad Lions haven't really found the opportunities, but they're going to need to soon because slowly but surely, like we said, the Dragon, 40 seconds, Mad Lions, so they want to contest that. You can see the kill pressure mid is very minimal because Caps has Mercury Treads, and Jankos can always get onto Humanoid, but Caps is a lot more slippery than he is.
mikyx and Jankos now could look to collapse on mid, could look to go bottom. Matt have done an excellent job of setting up some defensive vision there just so that Carzzy can play as safely as possible under the tower. But level 7 Ezreal, slowly but surely, Carzzy falling a little bit behind in both gold and experience against the 2-0 Reckless. And it's only going to get worse as he really cannot approach that wave.
I like the use of Herald bot. I think that given Kaiser's roaming around the map and they had rough information of where he would be, the fact that Humanoid can't collapse as well, and they had the wave in bot lane, just funnel more resources into Reckless. You can see that he has a 1.5k gold lead in just the straight up head-to-head matchup. Jankos also continuing to build up a lead, and they're just continuing to attack this bot side of the map. It was a strategy that Rogue found very effective in their finals of last split, shutting down Carzzy and Kaiser, just beating them in the 2 versus 2 and investing their resources. G2 emulating that style and using their prior mid well.
Yeah, look at Armut though, he's basing, he can TP in, so Mad Lions want to look to some kind of contest here. Wonder's trying to base too, but they're going to force it.
Ulti now coming out. Where's the Twisted Fate going to go? Sonic Wave connects, but there's going to be no follow-up. Armut's still waiting in base. He's now finally going to return to lane. Mad Lions may be feeling like they can start this Drake, but G2 haven't lost too much from the exchange.
Looks like they've pushed them off because Caps and Reckless had to catch waves, but I think G2 aren't done here. No Leona ult, and Wunder's in a good spot to TP here. That could be a fight.
Jankos committing. TP now coming in behind them. Reckless in no man's land. He's all isolated to himself. Armut now coming in. Maybe get a little bit of damage down. Ezreal not really going to connect on much of anyone. Jankos now running for the hills. Humanoid grabbing a kill back. G2 ready to return for the fight. That's the ulti coming out from Varus. Carzzy locked up over the wall. Reckless now out of mana. It's going to be big for the lethality bars. He's eating up the Gwen. He's going to spit him right back out. Easy kill for Wonder. Now Cap's going for the follow-up. Elyoya incredibly low. Carzzy, is he feeling confident? G2 backing away, but no one is getting the Drake, crucially.
Yeah, but G2 are very split up at the start of that fight. Eventually, Wonder came in. He didn't have a great TP position. He TP'd on bot wave, so he was quite far away. Mickey died before he could get there. In the end, it's a 1-for-1. Humanoid's going to TP top to catch the wave, so G2 are going to base and probably run out towards this Dragon and get it for themselves. But I think the big thing here was Wunder's TP in bot lane.
Yeah, so you can see that the initial exchange, a lot of ults were used, and with Wonder also in a position to TP, yeah, G2 thought that they could commit to the fight. Of course, as you mentioned, G2 is a little bit split here. Jankos forced to flash out, gets chunked out by the Gwen, and then the Braum is like, well, it's a bit awkward for me. Reckless also low on mana, but then with the arrival of Wonder, G2 just start playing this front to back, and they slowly start to chip away at the Mad Lions front line, with which they then get slowly picked apart and forced to disengage.
Yeah, and Reckless's Q on Varus went through 3 members of Mad Lions there, took 30% of each of their HPs, and that's what put the nail in the coffin for that fight for Mad Lions. Humanoid TP top to push out the wave, and now Jankos should be able to pick up this Dragon pretty free. They have the vision for it, so again, another neutral objective going to G2. Caps is going to get this bot tower as well, you'd expect. And Mad Lions, what's the cross map? Maybe they can push in mid and move towards top, but then again, top lane, it's a full tank Tahm Kench.
Certainly, and they're not really in a position right now to get anything. Armut's still catching a wave on the top side. It looks like mid-wave is going to need to be picked up as well. So for now, G2 just continue to come out on top in these individual plays. Incredibly dominant early game from G2. 2k gold lead, full control over every objective on the map. Outside of that single kill for Mickey, everything has gone, or single death for Mickey rather, everything has gone in G2's favor here.
I think you can also see we got a bit of a taster of what fights are going to look like, because there's a lot of mobility on both sides. And I think that when you look at G2, they have a little bit more of a front line with the Xin Zhao wanting to dive in, the Tahm Kench also wanting to be in melee range, the Braum also acting as peel, and then LeBlanc looking for these opportunities to jump over a wall, get a bit of poke off, Forest doing the same thing, a bit of CC coming down to Wonder.
Cross map.
Caught out. Sonic Wave goes a little bit wide. Wonder does have the flash if he wants to try to make it out. Jankos waiting over the wall. They've locked him. He's flashed. He's still got the thick skin. Elyoya, is he feeling confident? Doesn't want to take that one. Wonder will walk away.
Big thing is Humanoid's ult wasn't up just yet. You can see it. It's ticking, 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 and now it's up. If that was up, maybe they could have just full committed to that with Elyoya, but a couple second time window just means that the play is off, and they tried to cross map top. They're going to force Herald. They forced Wonder out. See what G2 wants to get in response. Caps, does he have TP up? He's just pushing in bot and hitting the tier 2 right now, and Mickey and Reckless pushing in mid. Doesn't have TP, so I expect maybe they're going to play for this bot tier 2 mid tower.
I mean, Mad is just losing a lot of farm right now. They're losing resources in the bot lane, they're losing resources in mid. Kazi doing what he can to hold on, and we'll see how much this Herald actually nets them. Because in terms of map control and actually damage being done to Matt's half of the map, G2 is gaining huge advantages. Remember, that gold gap wasn't actually that big only a few minutes ago, and now it's ballooned to about 2.5, nearly 3K. As G2 continue to find these advantages across the map.
Well, I don't want to overstate, as this is only a single game. It is flashbacks to the 2019 G2, who were very controlled in the early game, but then blew games wide open in the mid game with the combination of Herald, 1 or 2 plays, choking opponents out in the mid game. It is certainly a good look and refreshing to see after G2, while it was an 8-1 second half, overall a relatively shaky season. That said, Mad Lions maybe looking for a return play here. Elyoya and Kaiser on the way in. Humanoid committing bottom side. Keep in mind, they can drop the second Herald, but it won't mean plate gold. It won't be a dramatic shift in resources.
Yeah, what's G2 going to do though? Look at Reckless, he's already moving towards top side. Maybe they can look for some kind of cross map with Winter pushing in top, but no, Mad Lions are going to get a bot tier 1. They invest the Herald and the TF ultimate. They have to use 4 members to actually take this down, so Mad Lions slowly running out of plays, but they found one at least. A tower will help, but they need to find a lot more with this composition.
Definitely going to be difficult, especially as Reckless gets stronger, and certainly going to feel at home in the mid lane as lethality bar. It's easy for him to clear out these waves, especially easy for him to play some of these fights. If he lands Qs, Humanoid and Cards are going to be squishy for the vast majority of this game. Very crucial role in the fights to come.
I think that for Mads, yes, they are at a bit of a deficit, but I still look at this Ezreal and I'm like, well, the amount of threat on him is actually quite minimal. You know, you're not afraid. The only person you're really afraid of is Caps, of course, and Caps can be a huge swing factor in a lot of these fights, depending on how much damage he's able to get off and the angles he'll be able to find. But I think that one of their biggest strengths is being able to play through side lanes, utilize their range, utilize their mobility, and they can look to kind of dance around and try and find these small skirmishes against G2, whereas I think that G2 want to try and leverage the front line that they have, constantly use the fact that they have a strong mid, they can get these pros on the side and try and force Mads to kind of actually clump up and fight them rather than trying to split the map apart.
Yeah, I think you're completely right. The first thing is, you nailed it. Karzi can do a lot of damage. Yes, he should be able to survive, but G2 have more front-to-back damage. And then the second thing of having this 1-3-1 and being able to play over side lanes, like Humanoid, you can see him is behind Armored right now. But what can you do? Can you dive at Tahm Kench? Probably not. Maybe you'll get a tower or deny a couple waves. And then the opposite side, can you catch out with a Blanc? We already saw them try to do it once. Looks pretty much impossible because she has 3 dashes, including Flash, to get away. But they might just force it. Humanoid doesn't have TP though, so it's only going to be a 2-man. Caps doesn't have TP to respond. Maybe take the tower and then look for it afterwards.
Elyoya committing. QRQ for the follow-up. Wonder still tanky for now, walking away, but the tower not going to be nearly enough. Mad Lions making it easy. We wanted to know if you could dive the Tahm Kench. It would appear that the answer is yes. That said, it's still going to cost a tower on the bottom side.
Exactly that, because the question is, was the trade worth it? Mad investing effectively 3 members top, because Humanoid was shadowing originally, and G2 immediately push in mid and they push in bot. In the straight-up 1v1, Humanoid has to be cautious of this LeBlanc because of the amount of damage that she has, and G2, they're just playing the map very well. They end up trading the tier 2 tower, which remember gives bonus gold, so Caps gets all that 600 for himself, and meanwhile, sure, Mad are able to get that kill onto the Tahm Kench, but I think G2 is going to be pretty comfortable with that trade.
And gentlemen, yesterday we expected it to be calm, collected, calculated from Rogue. It was a bloodbath in every game. Today we expected bloodbath, and there's 5 kills at 19 minutes. Now we might get a 6th here, as it looks like 3 dashes. Well, Caps might have to use all of them as Kaiser and Elyoya do collapse. Maybe he can try to find a kill here, but not quite the explosive game we were initially expecting.
Yeah, Mad Lions need to be proactive. They need to force these plays. Caps is in trouble.
1 dash. Second dash going to come out. Now the flash out as well. That's all. Hey, Cadril, you said it. He's got all 3 dashes. He used all 3.
Yeah, and Humanoid had to flash away in bot as well. You can see on the right-hand side, he has no flash. He got pressured. Reckless, I think, ult flashed him perhaps, and that's why he reacted pretty well. But they're just making sure that they can secure this dragon. Third dragon for G2 will be pretty free because all of Mad Lions' top side, they have no wave for mid tower. They have no way they can take this top tier 2 because Wunder has TP as well, so they should be able to defend that. But yeah, you can see the problem they have over side lanes. Tahm Kench takes too much time to dive, so you can cross map easily, and LeBlanc is just way too hard to lock down, so this TF comp is really struggling against G2's answer.
3 Drakes now, even before the 20-minute mark, is massive for G2. Mountain Soul, pretty big when you have a Tahm Kench on the front line as well. Certainly is going to make their jobs a little bit harder for the Mad Lions. Mad need to find a way back in. Yes, they are trading. Yes, they are keeping the gold within touching distance, but those objectives keep getting away from them, and G2 feels like they're always eking out an advantage in these trades.
The one variable that I'm still kind of like leaving a question mark ping over is this Gwen, because when she was meta, one of the big things about Gwen was that she wasn't just a strong split pusher, she was also a strong team fighter. Her ultimate actually has access onto the backline, and because of her true damage, she can also melt frontline targets. So if you do just play a traditional front to back, she chucks a W down,